We are live in 3, 2, 1. What is up, everybody? And welcome back to Zachary Reality. It is Zachary Reality. It's been a minute since we have been on live, like 3 weeks since I've done my last YouTube live. So I'm so excited to be back, chat with you guys, do all the things. So welcome back. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and hit subscribe. Today, we are going to be chatting about the Golden Bachelorette. So the season just started. There has been 3 episodes. And Joan is killing it. She's so much fun to watch. I really like this show immediately because I feel like it's different. It's interesting. It's like the Golden Bachelor, but the Golden Bachelorette. So it's just like a concept that's never happened before. I don't know if the show would like last legs, but I think that it does have like potential to be a really good season as it gets further towards the end, which I'm excited to see what happens. Joan has said in a lot of her interviews that she doesn't need to get engaged. That's not what she was necessarily looking for. And she has also said that she doesn't have to live in the same place as the person that she chooses, at least like initially. So they could do like 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here. We've seen Joan break down this week about how much she misses her family and how close she is with her family. Now she can never leave them. Joan is really like, she's the perfect Golden Bachelorette because she's all about family. She's all about love. And it kind of seems like this week we saw this side of Joan where like, maybe she can't take this on. Like maybe she's not ready. She's dealing with the burden of her mother who's getting older. Her kids are having babies. Like Joan has so much on her plate. Like, could she even handle a relationship? Is she really over her ex? I mean, I feel like this is the Joan that we are getting to explore during this season, which is fun because she has a lot of layers to her. There's a lot of stories. She got really vulnerable this week. And I feel like she's going to continue to be more vulnerable. And I think that this season is just getting started. I mean, it's just getting started. So we always get more invested each week. And now that I think I know everyone's name, except for 1 or 2 people, like I feel like I'm a lot more invested. So I can't wait to see how this goes. And I can't wait to talk about this season and all of the guys. So we're going to go down the list and talk about each guy. I'm going to give my opinions, my hot takes. We'll talk about where they stand with Joan, and we'll make some predictions for who's going to win, who's going to go, and we're going to get to it. We are live right now. So if you have any comments, questions, obviously put them in the live chat. I can put them on the screen. And do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up, okay? Thank you. Okay, let's start off with Gerry. So he really dropped a bomb on us when he said that his godmother is Tina Turner, the legendary Tina Turner. I mean, she is an icon. So I wonder if that's how he maybe got on the show, if there was some sort of connection between Tina and ABC. I think that Gerry is a character. I think he's fun. I like him. I don't think he's gonna like win, but he definitely seems like he's in there. He's getting a decent amount of airtime. He's growing a connection with Joan. So I'm here for Gerry. Next up, we have Chock. So Chock got the first one-on-one date. We saw that they went to Disneyland. They really like had a moment. They pretended they were kids again. They were being Cinderella and Prince Charming. It was like so romantic, so age appropriate, obviously. Chock has been a really front runner for me. I feel like he's going to go really far. Like he was actually my winner pick, I said, from the first 2 weeks. But now it's getting a little confusing because the teaser for next week shows that Chock is going to leave. And he's like actually leaving because he said the words leave and then we saw him get in the van. And it was like obviously serious. So my prediction is that, and we have a comment from Rosemarie. She says, Gerry is going to be the BFF. I could see that. My prediction is that with Chock, he is going to leave for like 24 hours. I think there's like a family matter. I think there is like just some type of business matter, probably family, where he needs to leave. And I think he's going to actually be able to come back. That's what I think. Because I will say I did see Reality Steve posted some pictures of Chock at hometowns. So I do think he's going to go that far. But I also think he looks the cutest with Chock she looks the cutest with Chock as well. So I really like Chock a lot. I think that he is really serious. And I think that why would they show this teaser of him leaving? like, that's obviously got to be a fake out, you know? Because why would they just like give it away and just completely spoil it? It would be really shocking if he actually left. So he is from Kansas. He's an insurance executive. His fun fact says that his guilty pleasure is shopping and he can't resist a good sale. Praying to the reality TV gods that Chock gets an invite to a group date at Costco. This is from Entertainment Weekly. So I think he's like a fan favorite. I think he's going to go far. He does seem a little like boring a little bit, you know, just like a little not, I don't want to say like uptight, but like I just feel like Joan is so young and youthful, and like talking to Joan would be like talking to like a 25-year-old because she's just like so fun. So like I don't know if he's like set in his ways with anything, where I feel like Joan is just like so in the know and like is up with the times and is just like so like youthful. So it's really just about like your energy, not like your age. So I don't know, maybe Joan will lighten up a lot of these guys. I think all these guys will learn things from Joan because she is just so intelligent and wise and like has so much life experience. And she's just like the queen. I really want to meet Joan one day. Celeste says Charles L is too pure for this franchise. Oh, we're going to get to Charles L. We will get there. Okay, let's talk about Dan. He is from Naples, Florida. He is a private investigator. It says that he loves to sing, just not in public. And this poor man is going to have to perform a karaoke group date. Okay, I feel like he hasn't made much of an impression on me. He hasn't really gotten that much airtime, and he just like feels like he's there. He seems like a nice guy, but like I just feel like he hasn't really made much of a impact. But I also feel like he is kind of, you know, in there in a way. So we'll see. Next up, we have Charles L, the GOAT. I mean, we love Charles L. Is he not the best? I mean, he is the rising star of this season. That is why I put him on the thumbnail for today. Charles L is just that guy. He has so much heart, so much spirit. He is so kind. He's really devastated over his wife, and that has been a storyline this season where he's been opening up about his ex-wife. And obviously there's so many layers to this because I feel like everyone's like, oh my God, Joan, Charles, all these people, they're not over their ex-wife. Like, duh, why would they get over their ex-wife or ex-husband? They were with them for 40 years. They have kids with them. They thought they were going to spend forever with them, and then they died 20 to 30 years earlier than expected. They're never going to get over it. So I think that the message is that you can still honor your ex, talk about them all the time. They're such a big part of your life, but it's just like a new relationship for this second, you know, phase of life since everyone's divorced or a widow. And it's great. You're not looking to replace, you're just looking to start anew. I think it's really inspiring and awesome. And it's just like a different angle that the show has never covered. Because like I said, I really do feel like it's different than the Golden Bachelor. Last season with all women, like it's a very different experience watching the show with all older men and they're hearing their stories. And Charles is adorable. I mean, he's the star. So this week we saw him give a picture of him and his wife to Joan. I think like a couple people on Twitter said that they thought that was like, who gives a picture of your, you know, late ex-wife to like Joan? Like, that's weird. I didn't think it was weird at all. I think that is amazing because of all the reasons I just said about how cool it is that they're still honoring the person that they were with forever. So I loved it. I loved it. And I loved his conversation with Guy where he was really looking for closure and clarity on why, when his ex-wife fell and she passed away, you know, what happened. And Guy is a doctor. So Guy basically said that, you know, she probably bit her tongue. And it gave him the closure that he needed. And I love seeing his story. I was so scared that he was going to go home. And I'm so nervous that he's going to go home next week. I mean, I feel like he's such a lovable character. They got to keep him longer. I don't think he's Joan's final pick, but like they do have a connection and it is growing. And I could see Charles and Joan like forming a connection. I really hope he makes it to hometowns. I hope that he makes it as far as he possibly can. But if he doesn't, we know he's going to be a hit on the Men Tell All, which is something I was thinking about yesterday because I'm like, oh my God, they're going to have a Men Tell All too. That's going to be so much fun. So Charles is from Philadelphia, which is close to where Joan lives in Maryland. He's a retired financial analyst. If Charles L could see anyone in concert during his golden years, he'd love to see Britney Spears perform one day. Okay, like I said, this is from Entertainment Weekly, so I don't really think Charles rates these, but I'm sure he would love to see Britney Spears. I think he's really close with his daughters. I think Charles is also really like youthful and fun and just vibrant and full of life. What do you guys think about Charles? What do you guys think about this season? This season is very refreshing. I like Guy. If Mark doesn't win, I could see Charles or Mark for Golden Bachelor. He's getting a hot seat for sure. Oh my God, Charles's hot seat. Like a star was born with Charles. He is such a vibrant icon. When I meet him one day, I hope we'll manifest an interview. Oh my God, he's the icon of the year. We just love him. What is so special about Charles? I mean, we've been talking about it. Did you just tune in live? Go back like 10 minutes. Yeah, and Joan is honoring her husband, so I don't think it's weird either. This season is moving and positive. I think Gil's leaving next. I mean, the allegations. We'll talk about Gil for sure. I mean, this season is really fun and there's not a lot of drama. And that is okay. Like, there doesn't have to be. I mean, it would be nice to see one fight. I did live for the drama last year on The Golden Bachelor between Kathy and Teresa. Like, that was so much fun to watch. I'm entertained by people fighting on TV. Guilty. So it'd be nice to see like one fight, but it also would be like really hard to see because all these guys are so lovable that like I wouldn't want to see them fight. But there's got to be one agreement. I'm also not that interested in the fluff of them going to the store and talking about sleeping. Like, not for me, but like they have 2 hours to fill, so I get it. I am, it's interesting to see what their life is like in the house, but it's also like we don't need to see that either. Like, just don't show anymore. I feel like we got the picture. They cook, they burp, they're in bunk beds, they're cooking for each other. Pascal can't do anything for himself. We saw one episode. I hope they don't show it again. I can't wait for them to start traveling. If they do that, maybe they won't until hometowns. I have no idea. Or like travel in the country. I'm excited for the guys to get whittled down a bit, as we keep going, see more of them. So Guy is also a front runner. So he is my also winner pick besides Chock. I feel like he is rising up there and probably top 2. He's from Reno, Nevada. So that is a little far for Joan. But I feel like Joan might like that. I feel like Joan wants to live a little bit and like she just has like the burden of taking care of her whole family where she like can't leave the nest. But it might be nice for Joan to just like date a guy in Nevada, date someone in Utah on the West Coast. I mean, it just might be a different experience for her to like feel even more young again and just crave that adventure of like going somewhere she's never been and like experiencing those mountains and stuff. Like that could be the adventure she could have with Guy. I mean, he's an emergency room doctor, so he's well educated. He is well off, which is important for Joan because she got that money too. She got that, whatever it's called. Guy is planning to he wants to hike a mountain, and I feel like he would get engaged. So I don't think he's had a one-on-one date yet, but I want him to. I feel like we need to get to know more of him. Yeah, shout out Jack who went home. He did have amazing singing and cooking. Jack went home. There's been a few people that have gone home that, we will miss. But, we have to get to it. Like, the show only gets better every week because we get to learn more about the guys and the connections flourish. That's what gets, we can never go back in time. Once they're gone, they're gone. Like, that's what the men tell all is for, I am so happy that Mark is staying another week. Yeah, me too. We'll talk about Mark. Last thoughts on Guy. Yeah, I think he needs a one-on-one. Like, immediately, we need to learn more about him. Definitely going to top 2, potentially winning the show. And maybe they'll get engaged, but like, don't do it if you don't want to. That's like my thoughts on it. It'd be fun to see them get engaged, but like, obviously don't rush into the wedding. I don't think Joan would do that. I don't think they have to. Getting engaged would be crazy. But like, also like maybe just, whatever feels right, like do. I think for the show, it'd be more fun to see them get engaged, to be honest, even though Jen's didn't work out and like, we're all still kind of scarred from that. But yeah, it wouldn't, yeah, Guy seems like a solid guy. Okay, so next up we have Gil. So Gil is on this season. He just got the group date Rose. And he is apparently getting edited out of some episodes because of some allegations against him. He is an educator from California, and his favorite book is The Bridges of Madison County. Oh boy, we've got certified softie in the house. So I feel like Gil has a connection with Joan. And if he's getting edited out, I feel like they're going to edit him out. But I also feel like we've seen him in every episode. I mean, even in the last episode, he was the one that read the group date card. And he had to put his glasses on for it, which is like so fun. But he got the group date Rose. So I wonder how far he'll make it. Like, even if they edit him out, like if they edit him out so completely, like it would be too obvious. And I also think that like, if he's going really far, they're going to keep showing him. They're going to show him all the way to the final four, if that's how far he makes it. We don't know how far he's going to make it, but there was apparently like a restraining order against him because he was like, you know, blowing up a girl's phone, and like the restraining order is in People magazine. It got leaked because basically they didn't, when they did the background checks on the guys from the Golden Bachelorette, apparently with him, this happened after he was already approved for the show and just a couple months before they started filming. So that's how it was able to slip through the cracks. So who knows what will happen with him. I feel like he won't be invited to the Men Tell All. And like, you know, I feel like they'll probably, you know, try and edit him down more. And, you know, I don't think he's going to, as long as he's not in the top 4, I don't think it'll be that much of a talked about, you know, issue on the show. But if he gets, you know, to the top 4, I think that, you know, it could become a spectacle. So we'll see. I mean, Celeste says, I don't think he goes that far. I mean, if he's getting group date roses this early on and he's getting airtime when they said they were cutting him out, I think it's possible he can really go top 6. So we'll see. Next up, we have Jonathan. So Jonathan got a one-on-one date this week, and Jonathan was like not happy that he got a one-on-one date this week. He felt like the pressure immediately of being like, whoa, it's now or never. And I was like, Jonathan, like, why are you complaining that you got a one-on-one date? Like, bruh. Like, everyone wants a one-on-one date. Like, you're gonna get the opportunity to get to know Joan and talk to her and like see if there's a connection, because why would you want to waste your time and potentially, you know, get the idea of Joan in your head, you know, or like think that you're gonna fall in love with her for weeks to come to just be sent home then and like never get a one-on-one. Like, just be grateful you got one because you were chosen. So like, that's kind of how I felt about it at first. Then I also saw the other side of it where I was like, okay, like, you know, this is an amazing experience. It is about more than just meeting Joan. It's about like, you know, being on a TV show and, you know, learning about yourself and meeting these incredible guys and like, you know, having that whole bonding and Bachelor experience. So it is more, it's not just about meeting Joan, even though that is the main focal point. So maybe he was like nervous that like that would come to an end too soon because he wouldn't want to go home early, or he was just scared he just maybe wasn't ready to open up to Joan about his, you know, past and his ex-relationships. So maybe that's why he was so nervous. But, you know, he's a front runner. They went, you know, horseback riding in the hills. It was really cool. And they had a romantic date. He opened up and, you know, she really appreciated it. And I feel like he is going to go pretty far. I don't remember what he opened up about on the one-on-one date. I'm like having a brain fart. So anyone want to remind me? Jonathan is a green flag in this franchise. I loved how he did push-ups in the driveway at the mansion. Yeah, he's strong. Jonathan looks so good for his age. I like Jonathan. Jonathan's a fan favorite. And I think that he's going to go really far. So we'll see. Okay, anyone just remind me in the live chat, like, what happened? What did he open up about? About his wife. She just randomly wanted a divorce on a Sunday. Now I remember. That's sad. So he went through divorce. Some of these guys are widows. Some of these guys are divorcees. And some guys, I feel like everyone's been married at least once, right? Okay, let's talk about Jordan. So a lot of people think he is young, right? Like, he looks really young and he's really handsome. He looks like Kelly Dodd's husband. If you guys have ever watched The Real Housewives of Orange County and know who that is, he looks just like Kelly Dodd's husband. So he's from Chicago. He's a sales manager and he's a stud. I mean, he's really good looking. I actually would love to ship him with Leslie from The Golden Bachelor. I feel like they'd be really cute together. He's getting some airtime, not too much airtime, but I think he'll go really far. I mean, I would love to see him get like 4th place or something. I mean, he's a really good looking guy. He seems cool. So I'm all in on Jordan. I mean, he's just young and fun. Okay, let's talk about Keith. So Keith got the first impression rose, which I feel like we're all just like forgetting about because he hasn't gotten much of a connection with Joan since, not much airtime since. So he's from San Jose, California. He's a girl dad. He loves ice cream. And, you know, he seems like a nice guy, but I feel like he's fallen behind. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even make top 4. Do you guys like Keith? Let me know. Let me know who your favorites are and everything. So, yeah, Keith. Let's talk about Mark Anderson, Kelsey's dad, Kelsey A from The Bachelor. She's still with Joey. They're on Dancing with the Stars, having the time of their life. Mark is on The Golden Bachelor, and he's killing it on The Golden Bachelor. I mean, Golden Bachelorette. A lot of people think that Mark is going to be the next Golden Bachelor, even though my favorite is Charles. So it'd be fun to see Charles be the Golden Bachelor, but we'll talk about Golden Bachelor in Paradise. Mark is obviously like a fan favorite. We love him. He was so funny on the kickball date, like jumping to first base. Like he's also really fun, comes across like, you know, kind of goofy and just like a fun, cool dad. You know, his wife passed away years ago and he has 5 kids and his kids really look up to him. And that's clear how much Kelsey loves her dad. So it's really sweet to see him on the show. I hope that he makes it to hometown so that we can see Kelsey come back because I love seeing her in the beginning. But Mark has not gotten too much airtime. We did see in the teaser that Joan says, I love you. So I feel like Mark's airtime is coming. I think it's like one of those things where it's like going to be worth the wait. He's on the show. He's getting enough airtime. There's going to be some big things coming up with Mark. Based on the teaser, he's going to get a one-on-one date. Potentially will get sent home right before hometowns. Or that's what I think. Because I just feel like we would have known if Kelsey went to hometowns. Like something would have been on the internet. So I feel like he probably goes 5 or 6. And I really like Mark, so I just want to see more of him, and I want to see like his story unfold. What do you guys think? Do we love Mark? You think Golden Bachelor in Paradise would air next fall? The way they edit it makes it seem like he's the co-star. Yeah, literally, he's the co-star, not actually competing for her. I mean, that's the biggest question I want to know. Like when they interview Mark and he gets a hot seat, like, did you really like Joan? Like, let's see. Or is this just like a setup for you to be the Golden Bachelor all along? This is what the fans are wondering. Okay, let's talk about Pascal. He's our last guy. So he got a one-on-one date this week. We've seen a lot of Pascal. I think he's going to go home next week. He's a big character. I think he can get a hot seat on the Men Tell All. Also, his daughter is on TikTok. I think her name is Victoria. But literally search Pascal Golden Bachelorette's daughter. She's posting all about the show. And I think it's so fun to see the kids of these dads on TikTok. So I hope that more of them go on TikTok and talk about their dads. Pascal is probably really rich and like high maintenance. I mean, he says that he doesn't do his own laundry, doesn't cook. I guess he has cleaning ladies. I mean, good for him. Like if he can afford that and, you know, that's his lifestyle. Like I get it. Like, you know, you're old and you just want people to work for you because you have the money. Like do it. He's a salon owner. He said he's not a great cook, but makes great reservations. I mean, a life with him seems fun. I was shipping him with April from The Golden Bachelor. He's really suave. He seems youthful. The date in Vegas was really fun. Them trying on different outfits. It was the perfect Pascal date. And then Wayne Newton came out and sang, which is like iconic. I thought it was going to be the Osmond brother, the dad, Mark Osmond or Donnie Osmond. I thought one of the Osmonds would come, but Wayne Newton's still iconic. Pascal and Joan, I feel like will have much more of a friendship. I don't think they're like looking for the same things. And I just think that they're like, would be better off as friends. And like, it would just be like, you know, maybe they would have a good makeout session. Pascal is the life of the party. No, he really is. Pascal's so fun. I just don't think he's what Joan is looking for. I think they just live different lifestyles and are just like, you know, but I think it'll be fun if they have like a romantic connection that like continues. Christina agrees. Unpopular opinion, but I feel like it'd be tiring to keep up with him in the long run. Yeah, I think that Pascal needs a specific type of girl who can keep up with him and all of his high energy. And I just don't think Joan is that. And I also think that Joan has so many emotional burdens on her that like she needs to find someone who equally has some of them too. You know, like someone who really is also a widow. I think that she really might connect with a widow more than a divorcee. I love Pascal energy, so fun, and who wouldn't want a French guy? Pascal's fun. I mean, he's going to be great on Golden Bachelor in Paradise. So let's talk about Golden Bachelor in Paradise. So it has not been confirmed yet, but it definitely seems to be in the works. Clearly, all of the Golden Bachelor women are down and are doing commercials and staying, you know, close-knit with the show. Now we have a fresh group of guys. I did post a TikTok yesterday shipping everybody. So I can read who I shipped for you guys, but Jesse Palmer has basically said that he thinks Golden Bachelor in Paradise should be in Atlantic City or Florida, which is perfect because we cannot have them on the beach in Mexico. Literally, they will pass out. For Golden Bachelor in Paradise, I have shipped Charles and Sandra. I mean, come on. They would be so cute together. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. Ship or dip, if you guys agree. If you agree, write ship. If you don't agree, write dip. So I just think Charles and Sandra would be perfect. And we need Golden Bachelor in Paradise. I think we need to do Golden Bachelor in Paradise immediately. Like after The Bachelor, it should do Golden Bachelor in Paradise and then The Bachelorette. And then like give The Bachelorette some time before she's The Bachelorette. Like do the Golden Bachelor in Paradise first and then do The Bachelorette and then do Bachelor in Paradise. Please do not air two things at the same time. Please do not air two things at the same time. Thank you. Okay, next up I put Pascal and April. I mean, like, they could keep up with each other. I think they would fight a lot, but I think it's, like, the only way. I think that it would just be too hot and too fun. I think they would be so perfect together. I want to see them in Golden Bachelor in Paradise. And I also think because April had a fallout with, you know, a lot of the Golden Girls, like Susan, Kathy, and Nancy, I think it'd be interesting to explore the drama in Bachelor in Paradise. And literally, if you guys think you're above it, then don't go on reality TV because we watch for drama. It's not just about love. So I need these girls to bring it. Next up, I put Jonathan and Faith. He is like from Iowa and she is from Washington. They're like from the states with like the trees, the mountains. They would be so cute together. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Ship. I'm not sure about that one. If you guys don't agree, tell me what you think instead. Like, I think I am doing a really good job of matching these up so far. And all of my comments in my TikTok video agreed. So I'm just saying. Okay, next up we have Susan and Jack, which I think we talked about in the live chat in the beginning. He has a pasta recipe or a shrimp recipe that he made for Joan night one. Susan, she has meatballs, like a meatball recipe. She cooks. They are like both Italian. They both have larger than life personalities. I mean, like, hello, this is the perfect match. This is literally the best matching ever. Like, I have not missed one so far. Not one. I'm going to miss one, though, coming up because I got a couple comments about it. So I'm going to switch, but you'll see. You'll see. Okay. I'm loving all these comments, guys. Okay, next up we have, okay, this is the one that people didn't understand. It was kind of a throwaway one. I put Mark, Kelsey A's dad, with Ellen. Now, Mark is 59, Ellen is 72. So, like, maybe there's a bit of an age gap there. But also, like, they're both icons, you know? They both went through loss and opened up about it. And they're both, like, worthy of each other. I think that they could be really fun. Ellen and Mark. But, you know, Mark probably will be Golden Bachelor. And then Ellen can go with someone else who I don't know their name. Like one of the guys who went early, because like even some of these guys who go home early, or even guys that like I'm not that familiar with, like Keith and Dan, like, you know, they'll still like, they can still get a second chance at love. So we really don't know all these guys too well, but we know the girls really well. You feel me? Okay. I wasn't sure about Pascal ship, everyone else ship. Okay, next up I have Kathy and Kim. A bit of a wild card here. Kim made a song, We Are the Mansion Men. Kathy loves to entertain and she's funny and she wants to make people laugh. Kim wants to bring the group together. Kathy, you know, she's going to be a hoot on Golden Bachelor in Paradise. I mean, she is going to be a main character. I can't wait for Golden Bachelor in Paradise. I think that they could be good together, but I do think Kathy will probably be in a love triangle or two. I think most likely to be in a love triangle would be Kathy and would be April. I mean, I could see April in a love square. I mean, Kathy as well. I mean, Kathy is there to play. She's there to win. She needs to, I don't think Kathy has to get engaged at the end. Oh my God, they're going to get engaged at the end, like Golden Bachelor in Paradise. It's going to be so funny. It's going to be the best show ever on TV. It's going to be better than like anything we've ever seen. Okay, this one was random. I want to see Teresa in, oh my God, if they put Gerry there, and I forgot to talk about him and how he appeared on Joan's episode, so we'll actually get there. I think his name's Pablo. I think Teresa has to go to Golden Bachelor in Paradise, but I think she has to be a late arrival. I think she has to show up like episode 3 or 4 and like really shake things up. And I think that Gerry could either come before, like Gerry could be the first late arrival and come like episode 1 at the end. And then Gerry could like go home because we do not want to see Gerry find love or with another woman, not after the divorce and everything. I don't think Gerry is like digestible on TV anymore. But I think he would be a really good bombshell for like 2 episodes. And then Teresa can come after and then everyone can tell her what she missed. And then maybe if she's there for a long time and potentially gets engaged at the end to someone else, then you can bring Gerry in at the end to surprise everybody and be a bombshell, and then they can have the conversation then. I just think it'd be too overwhelming for Teresa to be like put in an uncomfortable situation with Gerry there right away. Like they should both have the freedom to like meet other people without them both being there at the same time originally, and then you can put them together later. I want to be a producer one day on like anything. Okay, Chock and Leslie. But also Leslie and some people were saying some other people. This could work. Because I think if Guy wins, which is, you know, what is in my next slide, Guy and Joan, because I think Guy could win. Because now the teaser is like making me think in the last episode that it's not going to be Chock. Like after episode 2, I was like, Joan's going to pick Chock. After episode 3, I'm like, no, Joan's going to pick Guy. So I'll probably, those are the final 2 now. But I think Leslie, she's the final 2. I think final 2s stick together. And final 2s like to date each other in Paradise. It's like kind of like that, like, oh, we made it to final 2. So I could see Chock and Leslie together, but I also feel like Chock, I want to see him lighten up more. I feel like he's really reserved, and I feel like he could be a late arrival and maybe someone that like everyone wants because he is handsome for Golden Bachelor in Paradise. There has to be, not everyone can come at once, you know? And then my last couple, I had Gerry and Patty. I mean, Patty is Matt James's mom. She needs to go on. They also could put a few other people on, like a few other like maybe famous parents of Bachelor Nation stars on the Golden Bachelor in Paradise, even if they weren't on Golden Bachelor or Golden Bachelorette, if they're like known in the franchise, like you can have Peter's parents, Barb, and whoever host a date. But I also think that they could have a few other like parents, whatever. But I think like he comes from like music royalty. I mean, she's a star. Her son is Matt James. Like they would be really cute together. I ship them. And I think that was all I had in my list for Golden Bachelor in Paradise, but obviously there's going to be a few more people, you know, people who went home early. Gerry says he doesn't want to do Paradise. I saw that in an interview. I feel like Gerry can't resist being on TV. So I feel like he will do Paradise, or at least like show up for like a date, you know? I did want to talk about Gerry's stint on the Golden Bachelorette this week before we head out of here in just a couple of minutes. He showed up week 3 to give Joan advice. Joan was really excited to see him. Her arms were up and open. You know, Joan left Gerry's season early because her daughter just had a baby and she wanted to, you know, she needed to be there to be a mom. Joan and Gerry, some people could say, are the ones that got away. I mean, maybe he still has a thing for her, but like, she is not interested. She is friend zoned him completely, and that's obvious. And I mean, he's probably just there. He probably gets paid to be there, which is like another incentive to do it, like a TV appearance fee. So he's there to just give her advice. And I think it was good because Joan had a really tough night. She was breaking down about missing her family. She, you know, let her walls down. I loved seeing it. She really opened up about how her mom was sick and that, you know, it was really nice for her to see a friend like Gerry just to give her that comfort because she can't see her kids. I don't know. Can she call them? Can she call her mom? It seems like a producer is doing the communication. It's hard for Joan. I know she's so paranoid, but I feel like everything's going to be okay. And I think it's going to be great when we finally meet her family. This season is going to be so good as it gets going. Like, I can't wait to meet more of her family. But I want to meet Joan's family sooner. I don't want to have to wait till the final 2 to meet her family. I think we need to do like one date sooner or like a lunch with like her daughters or something. Because I feel like Gerry's kids were so involved. And I think it's better when the families are involved. But Gerry kind of questioned her, being like, "Are you sure your person's not there?" I'm honestly like, I'm sure they told him to ask her that, because Gerry famously got engaged to Teresa, married in 3 months on a TV wedding, married 6 months, divorced 3 months. It didn't work out. It was not even a year from when they met. Everything. I mean, it was a sham wedding for TV. It didn't work out. They were in different locations. They didn't have the connection. It was a whirlwind. I feel like Gerry being in talks to be the Golden Bachelor for 2 years, because he was for 2 years before it actually happened. I mean, the show was in talks. It was public knowledge for 2 years that it was happening before it happened. Kind of psyched him out and made him, and just kind of ruined it for him. I feel like Joan going into it so organically right after makes it more real when you're not like overthinking it for so long. But he did ask her, do you think your man might not be there, your future husband or whatever? And she said, of course, she thought about that at first, but after meeting all of these great guys, she no longer thinks that. I'm sure he was told to ask it. It made him look like a jerk. But it's okay. I mean, she likes him. She says he's a nice guy. I feel like, who knows? I mean, he was such a nice guy on the show. I don't know. Sorry, Gerry. It was just it was great for her to see a friend, and it was, a little awkward too. Big interviews this week. I interviewed Zach and Bliss from Love is Blind. So you guys can go watch that on my channel or listen wherever you listen to your podcasts. They were on season 4. They got married. They open up about having a daughter and what parenting is like. They give some hot takes on Love is Blind season 7, which just aired, and I am watching it. I think I've watched 4 episodes. I'm probably into the 5th. I can't wait to make more videos about it. I want to talk about Hannah and Taylor more, and I'm kind of into it. So it was a really good interview with Zach and Bliss. I also interviewed Jack from The Anonymous. If you guys are watching that on the USA Network, check it out. And great party last week. I went to the DirecTV red carpet. Last week, they were having a reality star event, and I interviewed so many people from The Bachelor and Dancing with the Stars. I put a lot of those interviews on my page already. So go check it out. It's super fun. And thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up before you guys head out of here. Do not forget to hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Have a good weekend.